Am I cool yet? So I'm sure we're all familiar with Call of Duty Ghosts and the fact that it literally could not have been successful. It was doomed to fail from the very beginning. Not only was it a next-gen Call of Duty game that was designed with previous generations in mind, so by proxy, it was going to be underpowered. It also had some of the worst marketing in the entire history of the gaming industry, with the developers finding it more pertinent to mention the groundbreaking fish AI and the graphical fidelity of the SEAL Team dog than the actual multiplayer mode. And then, the multiplayer itself was horrible. The maps were way too big and encouraged camping, and the score streaks were unnecessarily watered down, like a SATCOM that only covers half the map instead of a UAV. Like, why? Then there's the disaster that was the campaign, which, to its credit, was written to be standalone, completely separate from the Modern Warfare series, but was plagued with boring protagonists, confusing antagonists, and a contrived villain faction. The Federation just doesn't make any sense. And then there's the actual story itself, which is, but I'm not here to beat the dead horse that is Call of Duty Ghosts. Everyone knows it's terrible. The game's been out for 11 years now, and nothing has changed. Not that I was expecting anything would change to Ghosts specifically, but you know what I mean. Instead, I want to talk about how a lot of bad media can be carried by good characters and decent characterization. Or not even good characters, but just iconic ones. So I want to bring up Simon Ghost Riley from the original Modern Warfare 2. Not the reboot series, because I genuinely think Ghost's portrayal in the reboot is, like, on par with the characters in Ghosts, the game. But I'm not here to talk about that. Can you stop? So there's actually a decent amount of surface level similarities between Simon Riley and the Ghosts in the game Ghosts. They're all members of an elite task force, and they're no strangers to stuff like espionage and brute force or torture even. And they admittedly all have pretty visually appealing designs. The biggest difference is that Simon is actually remembered by the community. I mean, even by casual players. They all, if they played Modern Warfare 2's campaign, remember and likely adore Ghost. And to theorize exactly why that is, I'd say it mostly has to do with a sort of candid coolness that Ghost has. He's kind of just a guy that's there. He was a member of Task Force 1, and he made an impression by being good at what he did, having a cool voice and design, and having one of the most impactful death scenes in the franchise. I mean, there are tons of videos of people just reacting to Ghost's death and, like, losing their minds. It's crazy. And then you have the Ghosts, plural, and they're kind of forcing it, to be honest. I mean, almost every single thing these guys do is accompanied in-game by slow motion, which is an insane misuse of the concept. Slow motion is designed to emphasize things or allow viewers to get a better understanding of something that would otherwise be way too fast to comprehend. Or you could just use it for emphasis, but you have to be really careful with it, because if you use it too much, it loses its importance, which then subsequently makes the use of slow motion completely counterproductive. And in Ghosts, it's almost every single mission. Slow motion is used at least once. And it really just comes off as the writers being like, God, look, they're so cool! God, look at that! And it's childish at a point. Then there's the fact that the Ghosts themselves aren't really anything special when you look at their feats. God, I'm talking like a guy who's covering anime power scaling. The first Ghost that you're aware of, that you see, is Ajax, who has been captured. So clearly he failed his mission at some point, and is actively being toyed with by the main antagonist, Rourke. And then later on in the mission, you meet Merrick and Keegan, the two main Ghosts, aside from Hesh and Logan. And their introduction is Merrick tackling a wolf and then scaring off the rest of its pack by just blind firing at it. Like, you couldn't have thought of anything cooler. And of course, that moment also is in slow-mo, so, And at any point moving forward, when the Ghosts do something that's cool, it just feels forced because they're introduced as either incompetent or just massive dorks. Keegan, for instance, he's just reboot Ghost. He's just reboot Ghost. No depth. He does cool things and talks in a really cool gravelly voice. Only reboot Ghost is British and Keegan isn't. It's the same picture. So not only did Ghosts fail mechanically, it couldn't even be saved by having cool characters, because they were trying too hard in a lot of places and then completely dropping the ball in others. It's kind of weird. It's just so crazy to me because there 100% was a chance that this game could have been saved if it were just cool enough. Part of me kind of wishes that Ghosts actually could have succeeded aesthetically. I genuinely like to see a Ghosts 2. In fact, I'm even kind of making my own version of the Ghosts story. None of the characters are carried over, but it's the same concept. It's kind of unfortunate, but it couldn't stand on its merits, neither mechanically nor aesthetically. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for tuning in to another one of my essays. I'm Andrew in collaboration with Save Point Gaming, and I'll see you guys next time.